Now, a big part of the framework, of course, is building culture. And the way I think of culture is what happens when no one's looking. So when we think about IT projects, it's fine to have the right kind of metrics and so on in place, but how do we make sure that all IT professionals step up to and take responsibility for a lot of their actions? And so what I've been trying to do is understand how we might build the right kind of culture. And it starts by individuals and organizations signing the manifesto. So by committing to the values of responsible computing, then we have a chance that at the ground level, people start to make more responsible choices. So we start to say, we drive or use technologies that have a positive impact on society. All the kind of responsible computing layers are key. There are some fundamental principles. The first one is sustainability. So we holistically contribute to the UN Sustainable Development Goals or any of the ESG concerns. We focus on or we value inclusiveness. So we worry about trustworthy, being inclusive, respectful of the kind of ethical aspects. We take into account circularity, so ensure the full life cycle of modularity, reuse, kind of eliminating waste. That whole notion of openness, so being transparent and open to share and consume and learn in the wider community. Authenticity and accountability are kind of fundamental in there. So by signing up for responsible computing, individuals are saying we're going to take those principles and bake them into our daily lives and as IT professionals. And I think that's needed now more than ever, because if you had some of these things, then we would start to address many of the issues that I talked about before, and we start to then at the ground up rebuild the trust that we'd have in IT that we need going forward. So culture is really, really important, and culture is also about mindset. And so some of the work that I did, kind of augmenting responsible computing, says that we need as individuals to have the right kind of mindset. So a program that I had within IBM was referred to as Future Ready, and I talked about the individual themselves having 5 key attributes and each one kind of A to E. So let me kind of walk through those. So as an individual, I want to be driven by purpose, and that purpose links directly to building systems that are responsible in their broadest sense. But of course, I want to be ambitious. I want to progress. I want to use these kind of things to help me progress my career. And by doing them in a kind of responsible computing way, I can be more effective, I would argue, than I could elsewhere. By also taking and adopting some of these responsible computing principles, I'm able to reimagine the way we do things. I can be bold, and I can make step change in many of those aspects, and potentially, eliminate unintended consequences of those systems. Right? By kind of connecting with a lot of responsible computing work, I can start to draw some of the best practices and be more capable and skilled to succeed. Fundamentally, I can start to pick out some of the systemic issues that have plagued IT and start to use the expertise of the community to be much more determined. And then fundamentally, by adopting this, I will start to create new kind of solutions and new ways of working, which will give me that kind of impetus to be more entrepreneurial and be more charismatic. So this for me is kind of North Star for how the future IT professional has the kind of mindset and culture that we need for the right kind of IT going forward.